Claire and I'm here to help you get better at ballet. So I thought I would start a little series to help dancers who are preparing for the Royal Academy of Dance Intermediate Foundation exam. In this exam you have what they call a free enchainement to learn in your allegro sequence, and it's quite tricky and it can be quite overwhelming learning the steps and remembering the name of each step, but also the name that refers to what kind of version of that step it is, if you see what I mean. You can get 4 different types of glissade, you can get 4 different types of pas de bourré. In fact, you can get more, but in this grade, at this level, they only do 4. So you only have to remember 4. Thank goodness. So today we are going to talk about the pas de bourré. The pas de bourré means step of the donkey, okay? And I always thought it was a bit random because donkeys don't really step sideways, but apparently they do, especially if they hold something. If you give a donkey a bucket, especially if you give 2 donkeys a bucket, apparently they both try and hold on to it and kind of do this kind of funny shuffly side step. So maybe it actually does refer to the way donkeys walk. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to do step of the donkey, pas de bourré. And all it is step, step, step. It's 3 steps and it can travel in any direction. In this level, it's only going to travel sideways, that way or that way, no other way, okay? There are quite a variety of versions that you can have. And all of these can start from the front leg or the back leg. Now, I don't want to confuse you too much, so I'm going to start with the obvious leg, but bear in mind that they could, if they were being particularly awkward, they could ask you to start from a different leg, not the obvious leg. So if you wanted to do, say, for example, a pas de bourré devant, which is where your front leg goes out and that stays at the front, they could theoretically ask you to do a pas de bourré devant. I'll leave my legs here or my hands here, using the back leg, so it's swish out, and then it would go front, side, front, okay? But that would be a bit harsh, yes, but they could do it. Anyway, so I'm going to give you the basics and then you can just develop that and practice it, and do make sure you practice it leading from a different foot just in case. So there are 2 ways of, so I'll give you the basic step first. So the basic step is you'll start in 5th position and you will go, so I'm going to do a pas de bourré derrière. I'm going to go swish it out, or it can do a coupe, yes. In grade 4 it comes from a coupe. So you swish your leg out and it goes back, side, back. That's a pas de bourré derrière. So it's very similar to the glissade. It's the leg that swishes out and starts the movement that tells you what it is. So derrière is back, side, back. To give you a bit of just to go through the actual vocabulary of the words that they will use to determine. So we've got pas de bourré, okay? So we've got pas de bourré, and you've got 4 different types of pas de bourré, same as the glissade. If you've worked already on the glissade section, you'll have done the same thing. So you've got devant. The way I remember that is spelled D-E-V-A-N-T, so I think devant, front. Okay, so that's, if I'm doing a pas de bourré devant, it's the front leg will swish out and go front, step to the side, and closes in front. So front to front, or you can put front, side, front. Yes, I'll show you. So I have my leg devant. I'll start over here, so I've got a little space to move. So it goes swish, front, side, front. Okay, and likewise derrière swishes out. I'm going to do it again. I'll do it this way. Okay, derrière goes swish, back, side, back. Okay, derrière, I remember the word derrière because I think derrière my bottom, so those 2 are kind of quite easy to remember. Then you get to over and under, okay? And again, I talked about this in the glissade section. If you're wanting to think of over and under, I imagine lying down, and if it's going from the front to the back, that's going under. If it's going from the back to the front, that's going over. And if you can see, that's coming up and over and under. The actual words they'll use in the exam is the French word. So it'll be Dessus for I'm saying up and over because up and over is how I remember it. Dessous is spelled S-U-S. So it's a bit of a kind of squished sound at the end, and it's just US on the end. So I think up and That's very much like the word up. So I think up and over. The word dessous is O-U-S at the end. So I think of that as down and under. There's an O in down and under down there. Okay, that's the only way I remember it. And just you get used to dessous being up and dessous being down. They may help you by slightly intoning, using a bit of intonation to imply that the dessous is up and the dessous is down, but not always. But they will usually clarify what it is anyway. It's more important that you understand which version of the step you're doing than whether you understand the actual French terminology itself, if you see what I mean. So if they ask you for pas de bourré dessous, they're going and front, side, back. So can you see I've done it from the back foot? Actually, I've done that from the back foot. Yeah, so it doesn't actually change legs, but during the step it does. Yeah, so it goes there and then it goes front, side, back. Yes, it could also come from the front leg. So if I had this leg in front, it can go swishing it out, front, side, back. That does change legs. So that's a pas de bourré over, and a pas de bourré under goes, whoops, and back, side, front. And again, you can do this from the back leg and back, side, front, which does make it a bit confusing. The pas de bourré, the under and over, describes the actual movement during the pas de bourré. And you think of a pas de bourré under and over as always changing legs, but they change it during the step. And if you've started from a pas de bourré over from the back leg, it doesn't actually change legs. I know that gets really confusing. It can start from the front or the back. And as I said, they may try and make it as easy as possible for you, but they may not. So it's good to know both versions of the under and over. And again, it could go from a coupe as opposed to a swish out, whichever they decide on the day. I hope that helps. So you've got the Devant goes and front, side, front, stays in front. The Derièrre goes and back, side, back, stays behind. The over goes and front, side, back. And the under goes and back, side, front. Okay, I hope. And remember, the under and over can start from either the front leg or the back leg, which means that they may or may not change legs from the very start. But once that leg's swished out and closes behind, if it's an under, it will always go back, side, front, and change within that step. I hope that makes sense. Let me know how you get on. If you have any questions, which you may well have, do put them in the feed below and I'll see you later. If you like this video, do like it. If it helps you, do share it and do feel free to follow us because I'm going to be sharing more of these and hopefully they will help you out. And hopefully it'll give you a resource where you can go find the step and go, oh, yes, that's it. I'd forgotten. That's what it is. Okay. Looking forward to seeing you again. If you want to dance with me, you can go to bridgeballet.co.uk and book yourself a class. That will be a live class. You can do it online or on site if you live in the sort of Medway area. If you're not in the Medway area and you're not in the area that's even on the same time zone as us and our classes don't work for you time-wise, feel free to go to bridgeballet.club where you can join the club and do a class anytime, night or day. Looking forward to see you later. Bye.